Life doesn't give anyone a head start. No one's going to give you a handout and no one is going to hand you anything. But there's one thing you can do, and that is to work on yourself. Even if you've got no one in your corner, even if you stay true to who you are and chase something bigger. In less than 12 months, people in this community have generated over 10 million in e-commerce. The real measure? Becoming the kind of person you'd be proud of for your children to look up to. Helping others achieve that exact same level is the mission. This is for the founders. This is for the ones who want freedom, who can't sleep because they're too hungry for more. This is the Founders Club. Welcome everyone to Series 1, Episode 1 of the Founders Club podcast. And today we have Ollie and Molly, the founders of Barkt, their dog brand. Let's get into it. Ollie, Molly.
Hello. Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, how are you? Thanks for having us.
Good. How was your trip down here?
Yeah, it's good, smooth, nice.
Yeah, we had a nice smooth journey, didn't we?
Yeah, it's a lovely day outside.
Yeah, nice part of London.
Well, thanks for coming down. Really appreciate it. Barkt.
Yeah.
Before we get into the brand, what is it like, husband and wife, working together on a brand?
It has its moments, I think. But
yeah, I think we've
we're
learned a
good team.
lot. About each other, haven't we? In it.
I think we're a good team. We complement each other. We've got a different set of skills, but I think what we're trying to do well at or be better at is separating the business to being husband and wife. It's that sometimes as a bit of a crossover, but yeah, I think we manage it well.
Yeah, well, it's our baby, really. So we can't help but talk about it all the time.
Yeah, at every opportunity, mostly. Yeah. Even when we say we're not going to.
Well, look, tell the audience about the brand. I mean, tell us about it. Obviously, we've been working together for about 3 months now.
Yeah.
When you first joined Founders Club, I think you've done just under 2K.
Yeah.
You're now comfortably doing a K a day now, and you're on track to do £30,000 the next month.
Yeah.
Which is just amazing. I mean, tell us a little bit more about how it come around, the brand, what you were struggling with and where you're at now with it.
Yeah, so June last year, we kind of thought we want to get into e-commerce and build something for ourselves. We've got 3 dogs. So Molly is a dog walker, has been for a number of years. So naturally for us, that was a starting point. And then, yeah, we kind of thought, well, there's lots of products out there, but we kind of felt like we could add a kind of different angle to it, more, aimed at the kind of practical dog owner. And then, yeah, we had lots of domain names purchased before we ended up with Barkt. And then, yeah, launched in early October, didn't we?
Yeah. No, we did. Yeah. We just come off that really hot summer, hadn't we, with dogs needing water out and about. And I think that's one of the reasons we were so attracted to the idea of a water bottle, is because you do need it out and about all the time. Dogs do need water every 30 minutes. And it's not even something that I think the average dog owner realises. So we wanted to make it easy and practical.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's where it was born from, really. Yeah, and then we, as I say, we launched with the 3-in-1 bottle with leads and collars. We made a slight adaptation to the leads, where standard leads, double-ended leads would have a trigger clip. Ours is an overlapping clip, so it just improves the safety a bit. Yeah, and that was the start of it, wasn't it? Yeah.
So you actually reverse engineered the success, basically. You actually you found the gap in the market, didn't you?
Yeah.
And actually focused a lot more on the customer's needs, opposed to finding something that's trending, like most people will in the market. I mean, you got such a great product. What was you struggling with before you started working with us? Like, what was your biggest struggle?
I think for us, we feel like that we benefit a lot from personal mentorship, and having someone that we can, deal with directly has been massive for us. But I think the big standout, and I know I speak for both of us, is understanding how to navigate Facebook ads and what it really takes to run paid ads, understanding how paid ads work, specifically Meta, and what Meta wants you to produce to enable you to enable you to make sales, really, and make consistent sales. And I think that's something that we struggle to really understand. Something that you kind of drilled into us a lot was understanding your audience as well. And I think we were just thought everyone, will appeal to everyone.
Yeah.
But in reality, there was
Yeah, absolutely.
a certain audience, weren't
Yeah.
there?
There really was. And I think like we were looking at that platform like Meta Ads, and it was just numbers, different words, like, gradually we'd know a few of the bits of terminology. And then when we had our first call with you and you like went through every day and dissected it, we just felt like you were a wizard. And then and to us at the time, we were like, how will we ever be like that? How will we ever know to understand it in that like so quickly and what to look at? And like obviously we're still only like 4 months into working with you, but I can see particularly you Ollie, you navigate through it like quicker every day, don't you? And you know what to look for. You can sort of spot any slight change, and for us when we first started with you, that would have felt like a million miles away.
Yeah, it would have done. I
a
agree.
million miles away.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. Actually, I think it's very easy, isn't it, to run ads, and I think as well is you have you take pictures of dogs. Everyone takes pictures of their dog, and they take pictures of their dog next to the bottle, for example, and you think, oh yeah, this would be great, and this would be a great ad, and actually like it's not. It's shit, really. Do you know what I mean? But like really, and it's not very good. And I think what we realised quite quickly is that you can't have any emotion when you're creating ads, and it has to be just test and just keep test. And that was something that I don't think we truly appreciated before we started working with you, was that, and you were like, you just got to keep testing, like this 3-day rule.
I think the most important thing is being able to actually understand the numbers. Just like you understand what the customer needs, it's the same when it comes to marketing.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they just think there's one way, but like even what I say to you two, there isn't no one way to do anything. There's multiple ways, and it depends on the brand and how you're actually speaking to that audience, but also it's your website. There's a whole mechanism that comes with the whole entire system. Ads is important.
Yeah.
And it's also important that you have the right setup, so you actually have enough capital to actually push it in the right direction.
Yeah.
But then it's also as important to have a website that converts trust. It's also important to actually have that customer service, which you also have.
Yeah.
So you can have the perfect ad strategy, but if you don't have the product, if you don't have the website, if you don't have the creatives, if you don't have the foresight to actually know who you're actually selling to, because you are really the customer, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why I think like a lot of people watching this, they struggle to be able to scale brands. They struggle to be able to do any sort of traction at all in e-com, is because they focus too much on the money.
Yeah.
And what they actually don't focus on is who is the end user. And that's how they can get convoluted with regards to which products to test, when to pause it, when to turn it off, when to scale it, because they're not the end user.
Yeah.
You've got guys that are selling women products that would never use it in their life. So how can they really understand what ad's going to convert and what doesn't?
Yeah.
So you have to create something universal, which is like the system that we've created that you two obviously implement as well. But you also need to have the actual belief in yourself as well.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I think that's so important, more than, yes, the strategy matters. Yes, creating a brand matters. But I firmly believe having the belief in yourself and your brand and what you're trying to achieve is more important than any of it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if you have that true belief, when you have tough days, maybe sales are a little bit slower, or, things just feel, a little bit different, or there's there's some issues, whatever it may be. Like if it's just generally a bit of a slower day or tougher day, then you kind of just have to keep reassuring yourself, like why you started, and kind of what the end goal is, and just keep pushing. Because like you say, if you don't have the belief in it, then it's easier to like when it's a good day and you're having good days, but if you don't have that belief when the tough days come, then they're going to be even tougher, right?
Yeah,
A lot harder.
absolutely. Yeah, and it's important to keep consistent with those habits that like keep your mindset in the right space. Like I'm not ashamed to say, like, I say affirmations every morning before the
same.
start of the day. I'll tune in and journal to how I'm feeling, and if I didn't do those things, I wouldn't be in the right mindset to make
I'm gonna make 1 million.
progress.
I'm gonna make 2 million.
Yeah.
But it's almost like I think that's something that we do both do separately, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think what the kind of last six months in particular has probably taught us is that you really are what you consume.
100%.
And if if you're feeding your head with nonsense on social media, and that's not to say that I don't watch nonsense on social media, I do, but I watch less of it, and I consume a lot less of it. And the more positive things that you consume, then sure enough, it has a positive impact.
100%. I think it's being able to ask that question daily, like, because before we started, we were talking about how you have a specific goal in mind, but it's always moving.
Yeah.
And anyone that's looking to get into business, their why is the most important thing.
Absolutely,
and I think until you actually get into business, you don't understand how important your why truly is.
Yeah.
But it's also really important to ask your question to yourself every single day. Why am I doing this today? What am I looking to get out of today? Because it's forever moving and it's forever evolving. And I think when you move in such a tremendous way and you jump steps in such a large way, like you'd gone from not even making 2K to then doing £1,000 a day on your own brand on autopilot on the internet. There's sometimes a lag in identity when you start to think, what am I doing here? I'm a little bit lost. I don't know where I'm going with it. And that's because you can sometimes get so focused on the actions every single day, but not really asking yourself, why am I actually doing it? So it's really important that you check in with yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
I try to not talk so much about mindset, but it's so important because people pay for a service. They pay, show me how to scale my brand. I don't want you to educate my mind. I want you to show me how to make money.
I think you're right. But I think the common misconception is that, and frankly, if you don't have the right mindset, then you're probably going to fail. Or at least it's going to be a lot harder, than if you didn't have the right mindset. And if you didn't make conscious choices to not do things that you may have already done before. So, whether that's going out on, like I remember when last year in the summer, when we started learning about e-commerce, it was like 30 degrees outside. Really, really hot. And actually, where we were working in our house at the time, it was like a sweat box. And it's very easy to go, we're going to sit in a pub garden, we're going to have a few drinks. But actually, the decision that you make to not do that and to sit and learn, and that's the sacrifices that you make to progress. So, if you choose to have a different mindset and you go, I'm going to go out and I'm going to have 4 pints and sit in a pub garden because it's nice weather, well, then that's going to have an impact on your journey and it's going to have an impact on your ability to push forward. So,
no, I agree. It's actually good that you've touched on that. I mean, what are the sacrifices that you two have made to get to this point? I think it's quite important to have the audience know that as well, because a lot of people, they see these online gurus of these screenshots of making millions in Shopify, and they think when they just pay into a course or a mentorship that the work's just done for themselves. I mean, what sacrifices have you two made to get this brand to this point, albeit that it's only been, you've scaled this in such a short period of time, but tell us about that.
Well, we decided not to go on holiday this year. because for one, well, at the minute we're fulfilling all the orders ourselves, so that would be detrimental to the business. And also, we want to put all our time, money, and energy into growing this. This is our priority. And I
Yeah.
think, like, whenever we think, oh, should we go and do this at the weekend, or this is on, it's like, well, what's our priority? It's this.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not that we don't have breaks, but they're more intentional rest, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And I think one thing that we say that we don't really do anything like at all. And I think what's important as well to understand is that, it's not 5 days a week, and it's not 9 to 5, and it's not 8 till 8. It's all the time. So, and that's not necessarily, doesn't have to be a physical action. It's that your brain is thinking about something to do with your business. So I think, we have downtime, and we're trying to be better at allocating downtime together. To go out. To go out. Look, it's not like we don't go out and have a meal. It's not like we don't go out and have a drink. It's rare for lots of reasons. One, we don't really want to because we've got lots of work to do, and we want to do that.
Yeah.
So it's a conscious choice. But equally, we do want to put everything that we have into the business to grow it. So,
Yeah.
but I think really, in answer to your question, is the biggest sacrifice is just time. Really, you sacrifice your time and your, I think, social life. Like,
Yeah.
our social life is
100%.
is us and our dogs.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really see anyone, and it's not because we don't want to. And we have lots of, we're fortunate. We have supportive family, supportive friends, but we just don't really see them, and we don't really do anything socially. But for us, we kind of feel like you make those sacrifices short term, and there's such an enormous long term gain from making those short term sacrifices.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I completely agree, and I think the 9 to 5 is a scam, and
Yeah.
people will say that this specific type of business would be a scam, but they're happy to waste 10 years of their life spending an hour traveling each way to a job to spend 8 hours working for someone that they don't believe in, then go home, watch Netflix for 5 hours,
Yeah.
and then say they don't have enough time to put into themselves. And I think it is actually being able to prioritize it. Like,
100%.
for what you're saying from you two, just like a little bit of a story, it just reminds me of when I first started in
Yeah.
ecom.
Yeah.
And it was just like me. I removed all of my social circle around me because, and there's nothing wrong with going out drinking, but I had to remove myself from those
Yeah.
places and that environment.
Yeah.
And I think changing your environment is one of the biggest game changers that you can do, because a lot of people think that needs to be geographically, but it could just be the people that you hang around with,
Absolutely.
the content that you're consuming, like you said.
Yeah.
But I remember sitting at the desk, and every single night my partner would go upstairs with the 2 boys and my 2 dogs, so I've got dogs as well, and I would sit downstairs from the space where she go to bed at like 8 or 9 to about 1-2 a.m.
Yeah.
every single day for a whole fucking entire year.
Yeah.
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 And then people will just see where you went in a month to, I mean, last month we done over 200k across our brands, but then they'll go, oh, it's an overnight success.
Yeah.
But they won't see the amount of
Yeah.
sacrifices
Exactly,
that
yeah.
you went
Exactly.
through,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, completely. Yeah. And I think, something that we talked about before was that some of the people that work in a 9 to 5 are like so driven,
I agree.
are really, really hard. Like that, like, you talk to people that have worked in the same place for 40 years. I mean, like the cab that we just got in, I mean, like, the guy been a cabbie for 30 years, and I mean, yeah, I think in terms of a profession, lots of cabbies have been doing it that long. But the point is that staying in the same profession for like such a long period of time. But I think we talk about this, don't we? About the difference of people getting started and not. They like probably have the ability to do something for themselves, but
Yeah.
just don't believe in it. Like,
No.
believe in themselves enough to do it.
Yeah, it's mad because, like you said, the 9-5, like people do work hard. It's not about saying, oh, you're not as good because you're doing the 9-5. It's just that a 9-5's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough. You're outsourcing all, like, unless you're investing all your income to one person. People, when I started dog walking, left teaching, everyone was like, oh, why are you giving up that career? I'm like, I get a set pay rise every year of whatever the government says it is. I have to take my holiday whenever the government says I do. I have to work the hours whenever they say I have to work. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And then I can rearrange my time how suits fit to make the money that I want. So, okay, like, it is like, it's a good job, it's an admirable job, but the reality is it's not enough. It's to make the living that you want, because you're using so much of your time, and like teaching is way more than 9-5. It's like 7-7.
Well, exactly. It's the discipline that, like, people that work a 9-5 are driven and they're disciplined, but the ones that choose to stay there and they do not change, but they want to, they don't, because they do not believe in themselves. And I'm not afraid to say that, because I was that person for a very long period of time.
Likewise, yeah.
And to show up every single day, like you said, to a job that you hate, but to continue doing it because you have obligations, and there are people relying on you. There's a lot of men that do that. Obviously, I'm a man, I can only speak for men. But I know there's a lot of men that are working 9-5 jobs and they hate it and they want to get out of it and they don't believe in themselves. And I think this is why it's important to speak about stuff like this, because you two have come out of a job and a good profession as a QS, a teacher, which is also a good profession, and that you do dog walking as well, which is also your own business. To be able to actually now create a life of financial freedom for yourself, because you believed in yourself and you took the steps. And I think with modern technology nowadays, it has never been easier to start a business. It has never been a lower barrier to entry than today, because the competition is weak. People are sleeping, they're not hard workers, they want to go out, they get distracted, and they don't have the strength to show up every single day. All you need to do is just do it for longer than they do, because at the start of the year, at New Year's, there'll be 1,000 people that will start, but by the end of the year you'll have 5 people that are your competition. So you've just got to stay in it longer than everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. And
right.
I think with that, it's like you have you're saying like the barrier to entry is low, and it is, and what you have is lots of people that probably could do it, but they think, like the idea of actually getting your head down and making sacrifices, like we were talking about before, for 6 months is just, I just can't be asked.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen in a month, or it doesn't happen in 2 months, and like I was saying before about the 7-day the 7-day thing, like you don't get to Friday afternoon and you clock off. It's like, it doesn't matter whether it's Saturday or Sunday, or it's 7 days a week. There's 7 days a week there's 7 days in a week.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just think there's lots of people that probably have got the ability to set up something for themselves, particularly online, and we can see, like the opportunity, once you've learned the skill and you have patience enough to learn it and to learn it properly, then you start to think differently, and you start to think, wow, fucking hell, there is opportunity everywhere. Tons. Like there is a crazy amount of opportunity. And I think, like we talk about this a lot, don't we?
Absolutely. And people say, I don't have time. You think, but how much time are you scrolling on Instagram? How much time are you watching Netflix? How much time are you going out eating?
Yeah.
How much time are you just like faffing about, cleaning, tidying, making sure your house, I mean, it's me. I used to spend so much time cleaning, making sure the house was perfect.
You should label the cupboards.
And I'm like, what a waste of time. Like, I spent all my energy in doing those activities when I could have been making something so I could, spend time doing nice things and not have to, because you're generating an extra income. Like,
we had
it baffles me now. When I look back to 5 years ago, I'm like, what was I spending my time
I think it's about being intentional with your time, because like you said, a lot of people want to make money, and they have this sudden realization that they can change, there's opportunity. And I know this because I was that person before.
Yeah.
And I would go to bed with all of these plans in my head that I'm going to do this tomorrow, I'm going to change, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to start that online business, I'm going to give it a go this time.
Yeah.
And then I would not plan what I was going to do next.
Yeah.
I would go to sleep, wake up, my alarm would go off, and then back to being on autopilot,
Yeah.
and then letting the day take me where it wants to,
Yeah.
instead of planning and preparing. Like, for example, if you want to get up early, leave your phone on the other side of the room,
Yeah.
put a glass of water on top of your phone, so you get up, get out of bed, and you don't snooze, and leave your gym clothes next to where your phone is. So you. And what I'm getting at is you're preparing yourself.
Yeah,
so if you
100%.
want to start that online business, prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like we were talking about this, about our diaries.
We were literally talking about this morning, weren't we?
So we use the 1% diary, yeah. And like, I think it's really good to hold yourself accountable.
What is it? Explain it to the audience.
So the 1% diary it's from Stephen Bartlett.
Okay.
And it's a 90-day diary. So at the start of the diary, you set, is it 3 goals?
3 key
So there's
goals,
3 key goals that you set. And then you have to do 1%, so per day, your non-negotiable 1% bonus, and 1%
An extra.
like extra. I can't think of what 1% extra, I think it's called. And you fill it out every day. So what we do religiously is we fill out that diary at the end of each day for the following day.
Okay.
So like, even if, you might know that you've got 3 tasks, or you're going to block out, the time for your following day. And it's not to say that you're going to know everything that's going to happen, because it doesn't work like that. But we find that by doing that the night before, that you get up, you start the day with a plan. So at least you have some idea of some structure to each day. And like I say, it's not to say that you're not going to add to it, of course. And it might be that
it might change, but you're not going to procrastinate as much.
Yeah.
No.
It's important that you do manage your time, because, I mean, now you've just started your own brand, another brand, haven't you? So this is on your second brand now.
Yeah.
And if you weren't able to manage your time, you wouldn't be able to do that. And I think it's really important that you have to review what you're doing as well.
Yeah,
like
you're
everyone
right.
says, I don't have time, but I just say, well, that's fine. Look at your schedule and you'll see where you are bleeding time.
Yeah.
Because if I ask 99% of people that are watching this right now, what did you do yesterday per hour? They won't know.
Yeah. I know you talk about this, don't you, about time blocks.
Time block, yeah. So so every single day I work on time blocks. I don't work on to-do lists.
Yeah.
Essentially what I will do is I will figure out what my yearly goal is, and I'll work that into a 6-month plan. And then my 6-month plan, I'll break down what are the key milestones that I need to meet.
Yeah.
And then out of those 6-month milestones, I'll work those milestones back. So say, for example, I wanted to make $1 million in the next 6 months. Well, that will be broken down into, I need to make this amount this month, this amount this month.
Yeah.
Then I'll break that down into monthly. I'll break that down into weekly. And then I feel, right, okay, what are the daily tasks that I need to accomplish every single day to hit those goals?
Yeah.
And it works. I mean, one of our brands that we've got the trophy on here, we just crossed over 7 figures yesterday.
Yeah, that's
we
crazy.
put it in our
That's
chat.
incredible.
Congrats, man. That's good. That's
Thanks.
amazing.
But it's a system.
Just happened overnight, yeah?
Yeah, it just happened overnight. I woke up and it was just there. But
It was.
it's just following a system. And I never actually planned to get into like coaching. I never planned to get into mentoring. But I saw there was too much fluff in the market. And I had a lot of success with it. I'd also been scammed by other mentors as well. And I'd say not all of them scam. Maybe they mislead, I should say. But there is a system. And the reason why I speak about it and I started growing my platform is because I'm no better than anyone else.
Yeah.
I'm just someone that's found a system, a way of following a strategic method that works every single time when you implement it correctly. And you've done this with your brand, and you're doing it now with a new brand. And it's important to speak about this stuff because anyone can do it. This industry only grows. It's not dead. Last year was record-breaking numbers. This year it's record-breaking numbers. The year before, well, brick and mortar stores are closing down. AI now, which we all use,
Yeah.
we've integrated into our businesses. There's no fear mongering here. We use AI in our
Yeah, I
businesses.
mean, everyone does, right?
So we're already ahead of the curve, and I think that's just more important for like beginners. It would actually be good to say, you know, what anyone that's watching this that is a beginner, you know, what advice would you give them?
I'll let you answer that first.
I think if I was a beginner, I would say you really need to get educated, because you're going to save a lot of time, money, and mistakes by just following a system, like you said, from someone that's actually done it, and preferably doing it. I think if you don't do that, like, it's not like you're not going to do well on your own, but you're going to make more mistakes, and it's going to take you longer. It's like having a personal trainer, isn't it? You know, if you go to the gym and you're just attending even just classes, group classes, you'll make progress, but it's not bespoke to you and your problem. So I think that's the thing. You're going to move faster having a mentor. So if I was a beginner, I would 100% get a mentor.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think that I actually think that is the starting point.
Yeah,
I think
because you don't know what you're doing.
No, you don't,
Yeah.
and I think you're right about the. If you go have a personal trainer, or you go to a group class, you naturally, you have more accountability by doing it with, like, direct with someone, like, you mentor us and you say to us, go and do this, and then we go, oh right, yeah, we've got to, we're catching up with Omar tomorrow, and we need, like, we were supposed to be doing this. That's not, obviously we do.
Keep you accountable.
Yeah.
Your
But then,
accountability.
and if you're trying to do it just by yourself, and you haven't got a mentor, then it's very easy to go, I'll sit down. I'm going to sit in front of the sofa tonight, and like, do you know what I mean? So
I agree. Yeah.
I think that would be, if we were starting out, is get a mentor. Absolutely. And don't just think that you're going to invest into, a product, or, you're going to spend money, building a brand, and it's just going to work.
Yeah.
Because you need to be listening to someone that's done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know. And I
Exactly,
think that's
yeah,
the thing
yeah.
when you start, is you're like, oh yeah, I can do that. And everyone can do it. But if you don't know, like, where you could really easily go wrong, you could waste a lot of money.
You can. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I'd say probably 80% of the people that are my clients have been involved within the e-commerce space, like one way or another.
Yeah.
But it all follows the same rule with every strategic way of building a brand. It's understanding who you're selling to.
Yeah.
Finding a product that not is only just going viral, that people will impulse buy, but a way that you can angle it. I mean, just before we was reviewing that brand, and it just goes to show it's not about the product, it's about the way that you position the product. People do not buy the product, they buy the angle.
100%.
They buy the transformation. They buy what it can do for them and the pain point. And don't get me wrong, in Q4, it's a very different market. You'll get a load of impulse buyers that are specifically not around shopping throughout, Q1, Q2, Q3.
Yeah.
So you can have some sort of luck, if you want to call it that, throughout that period of time. But during these months is where the real brands will stay, and the drop shippers will just fall away, and the people that are not meant for this game, because they're not able to think creative and they're not able to position their product. And then it's just about learning the basics on Meta. I think having a mentor is really important, but 99% of this stuff you can find for free online.
Yeah.
And that just says to me that really it's not about having the money to invest, it's about actually executing. Because everything that I've done, and you two can probably attest to this, I didn't know the answer to everything, but I still just done it anyway and learned along the way.
Yeah. I think you're right, and I think it, like, kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about, like, we were talking about that we didn't refresh our ad account, probably for a few days longer than we'd have liked, but we only know that now because we did that.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? So like if we'd have just and not that it didn't have an impact on what we were doing, and it didn't have an impact on our business, but we know that what we should have done was to keep on top of it and to keep it refreshed, and like that, and to keep that creative fresh. But had we not done that, we wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
going forward, we know, okay, it's something else that we need to keep on top of. But
Yeah, that's the thing. I think a lot of people, when they start out, they're afraid to make mistakes, and then
Yeah.
they make a mistake or two, and they're like, "Oh, I'm no good at this. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't gonna work." And it's like everyone's making mistakes
yeah,
everywhere, every day. Even like now, next year, 10 years from now, like we'll still make mistakes. It'll just
Yeah.
be something different.
I think something that we like we were just talking about the you know, like what would you say to a beginner? And I
Yeah.
think I remember we like touched on this briefly before about like not being emotionally attached to things. So like
It's
you
my
allude-
first video when you join Founders Club
yeah,
within the course.
yeah. And it's like I think like we used to sit there and make you know, we'd sit and make ad creatives, and I'd be like, I'll say to Molly, I'd be like, this is great. This is the absolute bollocks, this. And then you run it and it's like you switch it off after 24 hours. It's just, yeah, do you know what I mean?
We've
Just
actually gone back and looked at some of the stuff we put together.
Yeah,
We've
fucking
been like, what were
awful.
we thinking?
yeah, dread, so bad. But then and then like
Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about your ad strategy? You can share it.
yeah, so well for us like we
What is
didn't
your
have
ad
one.
strategy?
We didn't have one.
When we started.
Yeah, when we started. But now our ad strategy.
Well, for starters, you was running people to the homepage, which is
yeah, we were
not
actually.
what you should do if you want to get sales.
Every single ad. Every single ad. So we at the moment, do you mean in terms of what kind of campaigns we're running?
Yeah, I mean, like,
so like-
you know, this is more of just like for anyone that's watching that
Yeah.
perhaps has their own brand, or they're wondering, you know, how are these people doing 5-figure months
Yeah.
within the first 3 months of,
Yeah.
you know, launching their brand.
So I think for context, we burnt through like 350 individual creative.
Mhm.
To-
Is that a mixture of images and
Yeah,
videos?
exactly. Yeah. So statics, UGC,
Yeah. And how was you making those creatives? Just a mixture of.
predominantly through Canva.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
the-
AI stuff as well.
Yeah.
You know, like we're talking about.
And the video, like one of the ways that we got content for the videos is we have 40 brand ambassadors.
Okay.
And what we do is we obviously we gift the product to the brand ambassador in return for some content. And they get a 20% code to share with their followers. And then we have a schedule. We have a WhatsApp group with all our brand ambassadors, and they sign up to a day. Like we ask for once a month
Yeah.
to create like either a picture or like a video. I send out hook ideas every Sunday
Brilliant.
for like
We've had some
getting
like,
going.
unbelievable, like
And how
really
did you
good
find
bunch.
those brand ambassadors?
We've got an application form on our
Yeah.
Instagram.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Like because I applied to be attractive brand ambassador,
Yeah.
and I know they just have a Google form.
Okay.
Even that's a big brand.
Yeah, yeah.
So
we
I
were like,
filled it in. So I mimicked that, but like tweaked it for
Yeah.
our brand.
It's
So
a
yeah,
good
we just put it
competitor's
on.
analysis there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually didn't go on to get the attractive things because
No.
it took such a long time. I was like, I'm just going to buy them.
Yeah.
But obviously we need
But
three
we're
of them.
quicker than that.
Yeah.
But that also just goes to show, you know, like when you learn this stuff, you subconsciously start to implement it. Like, I mean, for me, I've got like multiple brands. Like this is obviously, you know, one of my brands, Elixir. This is one of my brands here. And you'll just go around, and because you're so like drilled in, and that's something that people don't do when they do product research. They don't think, okay, let me look at the competitor.
Yeah.
So they're missing like half the system.
Yeah.
And that's why their products fail, because they don't do competitors research.
Yeah.
But then you start to subconsciously walk around. You go, that footwear's coming out now. Oh, that clothing's coming out now. Oh, people are using these for their dogs now. And then you just start to
exactly.
implement, even to
Yeah,
the
you're
point where
right.
you've just gone, you've seen a brand, you thought, oh, they're doing brand ambassadors. I'm going to do that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, we just mimicked their
Yeah, we
form.
did. Yeah, and it works a treat. And Molly does a great job actually in kind of managing those guys. And we've got some really, really like good people that genuinely love the brand. They like being engaged with it. They love the product, and we've been quite lucky with that.
They've
haven't we?
been so integral to getting it out there
massively
because
integral. And give us some great content as well. Really,
Really,
good.
really good
And they're really
content.
engaged as well. But I think, we did quickly realise that the creative that we were putting out there just had no message.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And what would you say was the Sorry to cut across
That's
you.
all right.
What would you say is the big difference between what you wasn't doing and now what you are doing? I know you've just touched on it, like that was the difference. Like what actually is that? Like if you could sort of like summarize that for people that are watching.
Yeah. So I think my answer would be, yours might be different,
maybe,
but I think you need to understand the sales funnel.
Yeah.
Like, and you need to understand as well that something that you think might look good might not resonate with someone else. So, and also most people don't want to see, like in this case, that bottle sat next to a dog.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't tell them anything. It doesn't say what it can do for them.
Yeah, just put in your product. I think the difference was we just put our product as an advert. We thought that's our product. They're going to see
everyone
it.
will love it because we love it.
And they're going to go for it.
Why wouldn't you love it?
But then, like you suggested to read The Influence by Robert Cialdini.
Yeah, great
so
book.
I listened to it 20 hours deep. Took me 6 weeks. Every day I listened to it, and we started implementing. I came home, I'm like, this is what he said, this is this.
He knows the book better than you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we started implementing that really. So like there's so much in it, and I'll have to re-listen to it to go back. But for example, like starting the videos with what could maybe a potential disadvantage. So a lot of our videos start something like buying a Barkt bottle might cost a little more than a plastic alternative, but already we're creating trust at the start because we're being quite open. Look, hey, you might say this is expensive for a bottle of water, but we're going to tell you why.
Yeah.
Whereas we would have just started with sales from the
this is
outset.
Amazing. Just
but
because
see,
it's
straight
ours.
there, you're calling out what people are already thinking, and you're calling out a pain point.
Yeah.
And I think one thing you two, you're good at executing. So that's the reason why you are where you are, because you execute.
Yeah.
It's obviously I've just showed you a system and you're the ones implementing it. But it's also about segmenting what you're doing. You know, going a little bit more technical into the ad strategy itself. If you're not segmenting any of your audiences and finding out who you are buying, at the end of the day, when someone buys from you, it doesn't tell you who that person is, why they bought.
Yeah.
So it's being able to
completely.
push out different segments, and instead of doing interest targeting, you keep the targeting broad, but you actually use the creative to diversify the segmentation of the audience in itself.
Yeah.
And that's what you two have done promptly. And you've been testing loads of different strategies, loads of different ads, and finding what actually works for your brand. And, you know, you're on a really good track. I mean, where do you want to take this brand? We're in March now, 2026. Where do you expect to see this by the end of the year?
I think we want to continue on the trajectory that we're on, which is, you know, we're probably growing, you know, 35% every month.
That's fantastic.
And I think we're seeing that consistently. And I think something for us is what our product is. Yeah, we launched in October, so we had Christmas, you know, which was great in getting us off the ground. But, you know, we're selling a water bottle, you know, and lots of them in winter. So I think it's encouraging for us to kind of say, and it's exciting, like as we come into the warmer months in England, about what we can do with it. We've got a really, really cool, which I'm not going to share now.
Yeah, no, tell us actually about the product.
Like, so the product is
what's so special about it?
It's a 3-in-1 dog water bottle. So it has a hands-free bag, and this is actually probably one of the biggest bits of feedback we get, isn't it? Is that the fact that it's hands-free. So you know, you just put that over your shoulder.
Yeah, and does that come free with every?
It comes free with every. Yeah, so I think this is something, you know, you touched on competitor research, and I think lots of people sell these separately. So they'll sell the bag, and they'll sell the bottle. But you know, we're all about practicality, and that really is at the heart of our brand and at the heart of Barkt. And you know, I think, you know, to be honest, I probably wouldn't want to just carry that around myself if I'm walking my dog. Yeah, it's just a bit impractical.
It's just not easy access, is it? If you want to get it out and it's like buried in your bag, you know, we wanted it to be easy to quickly give
so you can drink out of it, the dog can drink out of it.
So it's got a poo bag holder.
It's everything you need in one place,
And
essentially, isn't it?
so you unscrew this.
And who
And
come up with the design? Was it both of you or?
well, so look, you can buy these, elsewhere. People sell them.
Okay.
But what we noticed is that at the time we launched, not so much now, other
There are
people,
competitors now doing it.
yeah, that no one was doing the lids as a dual lid. So no one was doing it as you can buy one bottle and you can fill it up, and when you're on a dog walk, you can drink out of the same bottle. I mean, who wants to share a bottle with their dog?
That is very good.
So, and then you can unscrew the bowls. So you've got 2 little bowls there.
Amazing.
And that's it. But really, is what
And it's
we also,
durable. It's made.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
high
stainless steel.
quality.
It's really good quality.
It's gonna last.
Yeah. And you know what we actually found that lots of people lots of competitors are selling these as a, it's, oh, look at this, it's an amazing bottle, it's really nice to have. And actually what we, our angle is it's an essential. You need to have it on your walk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and to
And
be
it's-
honest, it's like
easier, isn't it?
hydration is such an overlooked health thing for dogs. Like there was a brand called Fur Boost who were on Dragon's Den like a couple
Yeah.
of years ago, and they were talking about hydration, how like everyone's overlooking it, like dogs are getting ill, sick because they're just not hydrated enough. So
Yeah.
and it's because when you're out and about, like you think, oh yeah, I can just wait until you get home to give them a drink. But can you imagine like going for a run and eating a load of salted peanuts and then having to wait till you get home to have a drink?
Yeah.
Like
that is
that's
true.
what they're getting. They're running around all for the whole walk, and then you're giving them treats.
And you're not going to drink out of a puddle after a run, are you?
Well, no, and then if they do
You
drink
might do.
out of a puddle, it's bacteria. Like
grim.
it's not ideal.
Yeah. And the thing with shared bowls as well, I don't think a lot of people understand that like, shared bowls in a pub or cafe is great, and it's, it's nice. It's a nice gesture. But, you don't know whose dog is slobbering in that bowl and what they've got.
That's how kennel cough and that gets.
Yeah.
I mean, you
spread.
two seem very, you love your product a lot.
Yeah, it's
and you're
great.
very attached to your brand, which is really, really nice to see, and which gives you the belief. I mean, what actually motivated you to set up your own business? Like, why was you not just happy, both of you just continuing doing what you was doing? And why did you decide that you wanted to get into e-com? Like, what actually motivates you to do this?
I'll let you answer after. So for
Yeah.
me, like as a personal thing, so for us together, actually, we wanted to spend more time together, and we wanted the time freedom, and not have to work. I'm not necessarily productive at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I'm productive at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm productive at 9 o'clock at night, and I might not be productive at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I think having the ability to kind of have that freedom of time, specifically, and then I think I toyed with it for a while, probably for for around a year, procrastinated a lot, and then we did it, and then 2 days before our product arrived, our first batch of product, my dad passed away. And that,
Sorry to hear that.
And that, no, that's all right. That's all right. And that kind of that really lit the fire for me. I mean, look, we'd already kind of set. Barkt was already in the wheels were in motion, but
You still had a job at that time.
I still had a job at that time, and I handed my notice in a week later.
Yeah.
Because I thought, my dad was ill, and he had been for a number of years, but I was talking to him on the Thursday, and he was dead on the Saturday. And it was a day before his 70th birthday. So, still a young man. He was a semi-professional footballer, loved his sport. So I think to kind of see that was like, fuck, time waits for no one. So you got to just do it. Just like if you think, I'll wait, and so there's I think from a personal level between for me and Molly is as husband and wife, it's to spend more time together and to have, you know, financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom. But, you know, for me personally is, life's too short, man. You know, like if you want to go make something for yourself, don't, you know, I guess it's the whole cliche, isn't it? You know, you're not guaranteed tomorrow, so
Yeah.
fucking go and do it. I mean,
Exactly.
like, I think for us, right, is
Yeah, I completely agree with
Molly
you.
wouldn't necessarily say she always wants to spend time with me. She likes-
No, we did. We wanted to spend more time with each other, have more flexibility. Obviously, like last summer for me, like with dog walking, it was so hot. So all of a sudden, I can't earn the income that I was earning.
Yeah.
Because there's just no way. There's no way around it. So I'm thinking I want to support Ollie with this e-commerce project, and also I was really conscious that we do need to have another income stream. So that was the initial reason where I was like, yeah, let's get on board, and let's go for it. And I think that I wasn't as ambitious then as I feel now, if I'm honest. Like when we started, I was like, yeah, this would be an additional income stream.
Yeah.
And now we've got going and it's making so many sales. I'm like, I want to turn over 100 grand in November. Like,
And you'll do that.
Yeah,
You'll
well,
definitely do that.
like it's interesting, isn't it? Because we had a conversation at the maybe in December or early January, and at the time we were maybe selling, I don't know, 5 a day or 7 a day, something like that. You know, anywhere between 5 and 10, as in the you know, bottles.
And now you're selling hundreds.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, like now, and it's like, you know, oh yeah, maybe when we get to summer, we could probably sell like 30 a day.
and we were like, we were like, under ambitious.
Yeah, massively. And now we're like, Christ, we could probably sell like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Easily.
Like, and I just think that, you know, it goes back to just what you talk about and what you project, you know, is really important. Really, really important, actually.
People think confidence comes first, but it doesn't. Evidence comes first.
Yeah.
And I think when you start to see the evidence before your eyes, that's why I focus so much at the start, is get running as fast as possible instead of prolonging a period of time before you actually build your confidence up. Because I think building your confidence up is probably the most important thing.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
But, you know, it's a pleasure to, you know, about your father and how Barkt actually came around. I actually didn't know that, so it's actually been an honour to be part of that journey, to help you to actually get this brand where you want to get it to. And do you know what? It's crazy to actually think you've got it where you've got it in a season where it's actually a seasonal product, really, if you think about it.
I mean, in reality,
for a lot of people.
But you've been able to position it in a way where instead of it's a want, it's an actual need. And that comes through, you know, marketing, having the right direction with your thinking from a creative perspective. And, you know, you two you've done really well, and you've worked very hard to get it to this position, and you deserve it at the end of the day, you know. So I think you've got to give yourself both a pat on the back, and you've now got another brand that you've got on the way as well. So well, I'm sure you'll watch this back next year and you would have done 10 times more than what you thought you would have already done. I mean, I'm not sure how much time we've got left, but it'd be really great if we could get, you know, some last thoughts from both of you individually on, you know, like Founders Club, your experience, and, you know, what you'd like to leave to your audience.
Yeah, I think that particularly the Founders Club is really important, because the question that we were talking about, when you're getting started, what advice would you give? I think it would be very careful about who you take advice from, because you only want to take advice from people that are where you want to be. And a lot of people, and it's hard, a lot of people around you, even like close friends and family, they'll add their 2 pence in, but they actually don't know anything about it, and it can affect you and how you think, because you've always valued their opinions. But I think that's keeping that in mind, that who you're around is really important and who you're taking advice from. And with the Founders Club, it's like you're continually giving yourself that social proof weekly. Everyone else is doing this is what everyone else is talking about, and you need that. I think I agree. You need to have a network of people that you can talk about it with.
Yeah, you do. And I think I agree with that, and I think if you think that you can do this journey alone, then I mean, I'm sure, I've no doubt there's people that that have done, and they're probably absolute lunatics. But
I'm one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think the Founders Club for me has been a joy and a pleasure to be involved with. Working with you, Omar, has been a pleasure. I think it, again, from a kind of private mentorship and a one-to-one mentorship, but I think the first call we had was about 2 hours. And I think
Don't tell the audience that. I'm
no,
not doing that anymore.
Yeah. No, but look, I think, but the point I'm making is that we probably kept you on that call an hour longer than you probably might have wanted to be on.
That's just standard to talking with you, isn't it?
Really? Yeah. I mean, Molly will say that. Yeah, she tried to rush me off the phone most of the time.
That's why he wants to spend more time with you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the only one that listens to him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I think for us to understand and to look up to someone that is operating in the space in e-commerce, doing fucking serious numbers, numbers that most people can't really understand, and they think is like, oh no, it's just bollocks, like that's nonsense. And then I think on our first call you showed us your Shopify screen, and I was like, fucking hell. You fell off my chair.
It gives you that social proof that you need. Like, look, that's a real person, that's real numbers.
Yeah, but it's like, it's what's possible, So I think, and I think probably if I had a message to give to anyone, is that if you're considering getting into e-commerce, or you're considering doing something for yourself, like, just do it. Like really, just do it, because unless, like, if you don't give it a go, then you're not going to know. But do not approach it with a give it a go attitude.
Yeah.
I think that's important. But like, when I say give it a go, what I mean is you go absolutely all in, or just don't bother.
Yeah.
Because if you don't go all in, and you have to be prepared to make sacrifice, and you have to be prepared to make changes in your old habits, because you just know, like, it just ain't going to happen.
No.
Otherwise.
And, it is hard when, especially if people aren't, like, we're a couple and we're doing it together, but sometimes there'll be one person in the couple that's doing it, and maybe the other person's like, oh, I'm not sure. So I think that, as a woman, even if I wasn't doing it, you got to try and be supportive of your man and their dream, because they are trying to better themselves.
Yeah. And I would say is Molly's always banged that drum for me, has always been a massive supporter of mine. And I can get bogged down with self-doubt. And Molly's always the first one there to say, fucking sort yourself out, like you can do it. So
I think that's important, mate. I think choosing the right partner is probably the biggest decision that you can make in your life as a man. I think there's been so many scenarios where I haven't cared to share the way that I feel, because I think the way that I was brought up was a very old school mentality. Shut up, deal with your emotions, don't share it. You're a man, get up, go work, provide. Yeah. And sometimes that may have been a good thing for me. Sometimes that may have been, a bad thing for me. But it's important as a man to choose that right person, especially in the position that you're in. And I think as an entrepreneur, we are very demanding out of life. And I think sometimes to the normal person, that's actually quite difficult to understand, because the idea of someone going to work and not trying to become the best version of themselves, to me, is fucking crazy and insane. So being with that person that's able to support you every step of the way and actually give you confidence, because there's plenty of times where I haven't felt belief in myself, but Jess, my partner, has been the one there to remind me of who I am and what I'm going for. And I think that's, I'm glad you touched on it, because it's actually really, really important as a man to choose the right woman.
Imperative, actually. It is imperative, and I think I definitely wouldn't have had the kind of belief in myself without Molly, and without her kind of, kicking me up the arse sometimes, and and probably sometimes, if I'm honest, fucking shaking me and just being like, sort yourself out, but not sort yourself out from a position of like, don't express your emotion, but from a position of like, why are you doubting yourself?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And almost, highlighting that, being
I
a bit
only
of a
need
prat.
to point you to the evidence you've already shown yourself. You've just forgotten.
Yeah. No, and it's played a huge part. And like I say, we have a lot of, we bicker a lot when we work together. We sit next to each other. Molly has actually got, upstairs in our house, has got a desk area set up. So when she gets the hump with me, she goes up there, which is quite often.
I think we just work in very different settings.
Yeah.
As in, I like complete silence and complete focus, and Ollie likes noise, don't you?
Yeah,
You like a bit of background.
Yeah.
But I think communication is key, and like you two, you've done very well for yourselves in such a short period of time. And it's the same like when I coach people, it's like being able to communicate with people, I think is really, really important. And Molly probably, with the kind words you just said, probably we want to get on here again. But, I've really appreciated you two coming down here today. And,
thank you for having us.
Sharing your story. And, I hope, I know you'll be successful with this, and you'll probably go on to do many things with this brand and expand your product range and definitely get it to where you want to go. So no, I really appreciate you putting your faith in Founders Club and, coming down here today and, actually sharing your story and helping other people, because, that's the main reason that I do this, right? It actually takes me away from my businesses doing this sort of stuff. But like, I genuinely enjoy working with people that are serious, that actually, want to get results for themselves, because anyone can do it.
Well, it shows, it shows.
It does. It really shows.
It shows your passion.
Your genuine authenticity comes
and I think that sets you apart, Omar. You have an authenticity about you, and genuinely want to help, and genuinely can see that you you get a lot from it yourself. So I think we want to say thank you to you for what the help you've given to us.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it, mate.
Thanks for coming down.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Thanks.
Don't want to knock the equipment.
Thank you everyone for watching episode 1 of the Founders Club podcast. Molly and Ollie's details will be down below within the description, and if you care to follow their brand, it's here on the table. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.